thing. In the world of Lemuria, worth was measured by numbers from the moment a child could stand. They were told the same truth: your level decides your future. At the age of 8, every child underwent the awakening ceremony. They stood before the crystal gate, a towering structure of transparent stone that glowed with inner light. When a child placed their palm on it, the crystal would absorb their essence and burn their level into their wrist. Level 5 were gods among men, Level 4 were warriors, Level 3 were scholars, Level 2 were laborers, Level 1 were slaves, and Level 0 were erased. Kael had heard the stories all his life, told by mothers to scare their children into obedience. He had watched older boys disappear from the village, taken at night by soldiers with cold eyes and cruel smiles. He never thought it would happen to him. He never thought he would be the one to stand before the crystal gate and be rejected by it. Kael stood barefoot in the cold plaza, the stones beneath him sweating from the heat of thousands of eyes. His mother held his hand tightly, her knuckles white. The priests walked slowly, chanting in a language Kael couldn't understand. One by one, the children stepped forward. A girl with golden hair touched the crystal. The light in the gate fled. Level 4, the priest announced. Applause. A boy with a scar on his cheek stepped up. Level 2. Polite nods. A tall boy stepped forward. The gate shone brighter than ever. Level 5. The crowd erupted. Kael swallowed hard. His heart hammered in his chest like a trapped animal. Then it was his turn. The priest held Kael's wrist gently and guided his hand toward the crystal. Place it. Kael did. The crystal didn't glow. It dimmed. The light inside the gate flickered like a dying flame. The sound of 1,000 breaths stopping echoed through the plaza. The crystal cracked. A sharp, cold pain ran through Kael's wrist. A mark appeared. Level 0. The priest's eyes widened in fear. The crowd fell silent. Then laughter broke out from the back. Worthless. Why is he still alive? Kill him! Kael's mother screamed. Soldiers rushed forward. Kael didn't move. His body felt numb, like he was watching himself from outside. The priest stepped back. This is forbidden, he whispered. The soldiers grabbed Kael, dragging him through the crowd. His mother fought, but they pulled her away, shoving her to the ground. Kael looked up at the crystal gate one last time. It cracked again, like it had been struck, and Kael felt something deep inside him shift, like a lock had been opened. The next morning, Kael woke in a dark cell. The air smelled of damp stone and fear. He was not alone. 2 other Level 0s sat in the corner, their eyes hollow. One was a girl no older than 12. Her hair was cut short, and her wrists were covered in scars. The other was a man with a missing eye, his face twisted in pain. They looked at Kael with a mix of pity and anger. Welcome, the girl whispered. Kael tried to speak, but his voice came out hoarse. Where are we? The man laughed, a bitter sound. Where else? The trials. He had heard about the trials. He had heard about the arena. He had heard about the monsters. He had heard about the people who were never seen again. The girl looked at him and said, "You should have died." Kael stared at her. "What? Should have died when the crystal rejected you," she said. "But you didn't. That means something is wrong." Kael didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to think. He only knew one thing. He was afraid. The arena was built above the ruins of an ancient city. It floated like a crown of stone in the sky, held by chains of black metal. From above, nobles watched through glass windows. They drank wine and cheered like it was a festival. Kael and 12 others were pushed into the arena. The gates slammed shut behind them. The air was thick with smoke. The ground beneath them shook. A voice thundered from the sky. "Welcome to the worthless trials. Survive if you can." The ground opened, creatures poured out. They were not like anything Kael had seen before. They were not beasts. They were nightmares. One had the body of a wolf and the wings of a bat. Another had 100 eyes, all staring in different directions. Another was a mass of black tentacles that moved like a living shadow. The Level 0s screamed. Some ran, some fought, some collapsed. Kael stood still. The first creature lunged at him. Kael didn't dodge. He moved as if he already knew the attack. His body reacted without thought. He struck the creature with a broken spear. The spear shattered. The creature fell. The nobles above murmured. Kael felt nothing, no fear. No triumph, just calm. The girl from the cell lay dead at his feet. Kael stared at her body, his eyes cold. He didn't cry. He didn't feel anything, and that scared him more than the monsters. The trials lasted 4 days. Every night, the survivors were forced into a small camp where the arena's lights dimmed. The air was cold. The monsters never fully disappeared. They watched from the darkness like hungry ghosts. Kael slept. But his mind never rested. He heard whispers, no voice memories. You were sealed. You were erased. The whispers grew louder each night. Kael began to understand something terrifying. The level system wasn't just a ranking, it was a cage. Each level was a limiter. A chain higher level meant stronger chains, lower level meant weaker chains, and level 0. No chains, no limiters. Kael was not worthless, he was unbound. The realization hit him like a wave. It should have made him feel powerful. Instead, it made him feel alone. By the final day, only Kael remained. The arena had become a graveyard of bodies and broken weapons. The sky above was dark. The nobles were silent. The council descended. The High Arbiter Solus stood at the center of the arena. His robe shimmered with golden threads. His eyes were cold. You were never meant to survive, he said, but you did. Tell me, anomaly, what are you? Kael looked at his wrist. The 0 was cracking. He felt the power inside him rising, like a storm. I think, Kael said slowly, levels were never power. The arena trembled. The truth surfaced. The council panicked. Solus screamed, kill him. But it was too late. The mark shattered. Reality bent. Gravity twisted. Space folded. Kael didn't feel rage. He felt understanding. The council was erased, not killed or removed like corrupted data above the broken world. The sky split open. Something watched. They appeared as silhouettes beyond reality. The architects, the creators of the level system, they were not human god or anything else. Something that existed between worlds. Correction required. They spoke without sound. Level 0 destabilizes the simulation. Kael understood the world wasn't false, it was controlled. The architects didn't care about life, only balance. They began the final protocol. The world started to collapse, everything started to collapse, and shattered river boiled ground opened. Kael felt the weight of the world collapsing on him. He felt the pain of millions, he felt everything. And for the first time, he felt something like anger. Kael felt other awakenings, thousands of level 0s across the world. Unlimited power without understanding led to ruin. The architects offered Kael a choice. Option 1, become the new limiter. Option 2, seal yourself or restore the system, or destroy the framework entirely. Free the world. End yourself with it. Kael finally felt something. Remember the trials, the word worthless. Remembered his family. He remembered the sound of the crystal cracking. Kael realized the truth. The world didn't need a ruler, it needed a balance. He rewrote himself. He became level null, not unlimited. The level system collapsed, but the world remained. Levels vanished from every wrist. Everything went silently defeated. Years later, children were born without mark, no trials, nothing. The world was messy, but it was free, and in forgotten ruins, a quiet figure watched. Just a reminder that the most dangerous thing in any world is calling someone nothing.